Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the African drummers.
Alright, y'all hear me? I'm here every Friday morning doing this. If you want to come, everyone's open to come. It's just have to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning Friday. Now, right now though, I want the back, behind the back over there, would you go like this?
Our principal, Mr. Celabrating.
Dang it, brighten up. You brighten up.
How come the clapping stopped so soon? Diamond, come here. Can you teach me how to do that? No, maybe later. Maybe. Didn't Diamond do a great job? First of all, my 6th grade buddies, sorry guys, you gotta listen to me again 2 days in a row. I'm so sorry. I am so proud to be able to stand in front of this auditorium full of Brooks students and recognize another step in the journey to get to a world that we want to live in, that maybe in some sense is long, long overdue. I was certainly very inspired by all the performances. John very eloquently talked about some of the comments that were made in President Obama's inauguration speech. And I have to tell you, I mean, I've told you guys already, I'm a huge fan. I think that, you know, maybe we finally got it right. And I have been rereading his inauguration speech. It was printed in the paper the very next day. And one of the comments that is very, very powerful to me is he says, understand that power alone cannot protect us, nor does it entitle us to do as we please. Instead, our power grows through the force of our example and the tempering qualities of humility and restraint. I think that not only just sounds nice, those are a lot of nice sounding words, but it has great, tremendous, powerful meaning. And to me, it aligns with what I think is the strongest part of our Brooks promise, the power with peace. part of our promise. As inspiring as that is, because I'm a little bit older than most of you. Okay, I'm a lot older than most of you. A lot of my inspiration comes from another great American. In this book that I'm holding up here, if you can't read the title says Martin Luther King Jr. on Leadership. And it's a book that I started reading when I got my first job as a principal 16 years ago. And I'd like to share a couple excerpts from this book for you. Dr. King said, "True peace is not merely the absence of some negative force, it's the presence of some positive force." True peace is not merely the absence of some negative force, it's the presence of some positive force. So what does that mean? Yeah, it's great and wonderful if we just always kind of follow the rules, but how much more powerful of a statement to be leading examples of what power through peace means. I have another little excerpt I'd like to read to you. On September 20th, 1958, yes, I was around, Martin Luther King Jr. was on tour in New York City, promoting his new book, Stride Toward Freedom. After several speeches and media appearances, he went to Blumstein's department store in Harlem for a book signing. As he was writing the inscription, an ordinary-looking 42-year-old woman came up to the table and asked him if he was Martin Luther King. When he replied yes, while continuing to write, the woman reached into her purse, pulled out a 7-inch letter opener, and stabbed him in the chest. Bystanders quickly grabbed the woman and called for help. And when the emergency medical personnel arrived a few minutes later, they found Martin calmly sitting upright in his chair with the letter opener still sticking out of his chest. He had had the wherewithal to remain motionless and wait for assistance. Dr. King was transported to a Harlem hospital where he immediately underwent emergency surgery to remove the sharp-edged metal. And afterwards, the doctor who performed the operation told him that the tip of the blade was resting very comfortably against his heart. If he had moved or reacted in any way, in any fashion, his aorta would have been punctured and he would have drowned in his own blood. Dr. King, when told that the woman who had stabbed him had a serious mental illness, he said that he felt no ill will toward her. "Don't do anything to her," he said. "Get her help." What an amazingly powerful example of peace, tolerance. President Obama talked about, how did he say that? Humility and restraint. And what an unfortunate reality. Should he have done, had Dr. King done anything other than what he did? In 1958, he would have lost his life. Thankfully, we had him for a few years beyond that, before that tragic assassination, and unfortunately, I believe the world suffered greatly from that. I have one more quick little comment, one of his most famous quotes. "We must all learn to live together as brothers, or we will surely all perish as fools." Now, I'm not sure what any one of you takes away from an example like this. Truly, it's meant to be a celebration of getting to a place that we're long overdue to get. We certainly have the wherewithal to get there. We just need to do it. And similarly, we have the wherewithal to do things like say thank you in the cafeteria line, pick up trash off the floors, walk with our hands and feet to our, all those things that we talk about that are all aimed at creating a better world, at least here within these four walls at Brooks. We just have to do it. And I'm very inspired that I think we're there. I think we're ready to do it. And each and every one of you, as I look out, has an amazing potential to continue this journey, and I hope, I believe, I want so desperately.